A very good evening to all of you. I am audible.
You are audible.
Okay, thank you so much. Gunjan ma'am, can we start the session?
Yes, ma'am. If you allow, I can start with the session.
Ma'am, please.
Yeah.
A very good evening to respected dignitaries and dear participants. I, Dr. Indira Dixit, feel privileged to welcome you all on first day of training program on innovative teaching and learning pedagogy, organized by Sri Shraddhanath PG College, Rajasthan, Research Foundation of India, and RFI-CARE in association JHERF, World Virtual Conference Forum, World Federation of Science and Technology, International Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Association, EDU Academic INC. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, we are very happy to have with us today's guest of honor, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar sir. Welcome, sir. Dr.
Thank you,
Sanjeev,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Dr. Sanjeev Kumar, sir, an estimated assistant professor and research director, assistant registrar at Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay University, Sikar, received his MA and PhD degree in Department of Indian History and Culture from Rajasthan University, Jaipur. His research papers have earned him national recognition. His articles have been published in several renowned journals. He is an active member of academic society such as Rajasthan History Congress and Social Science and Humanities Association. Welcome, sir. On the behalf of RFI, we are welcome to you. And I request you, please say some words for us. Sanjeev, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. आज के इस फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज्ड बाय श्री सरदारनाथ पीजी कॉलेज गुडागोरजी झुंझुनू एंड रिसर्च फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया विषय पर जो आयोजित की जा रही है इनोवेटिव टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग पेडागोजी। आज मैं ये कहूँगा कि बिल्कुल रिलेवेंट टॉपिक है ये और इसकी बहुत ज्यादा आवश्यकता है। आज हम चाहते थे कि शुरू में ये स्कूल एजुकेशन में ये शुरुआत होनी चाहिए और हो चुकी है, लेकिन आज हम महसूस कर रहे हैं कि हायर एजुकेशन के अंदर इसकी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है। विशेष करके जो नए नए इनोवेशन जो हो रहे हैं टीचिंग में और
Sorry for my interruption. Sir, could you talk in English? I'm not able to follow Hindi.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
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 is
I
actually
am
we are not
comfort in
continuing.
Hindi.
Can you continue in English, sir?
No, no, madam. No.
Sir, kindly continue. Continue, sir.
Sanjeev sir,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
request
Yes.
you. Sir, please continue.
इसलिए हम हमारे जो यूनिवर्सिटी है उसके अंदर भी इस तरह की जो टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग जो प्रोग्राम्स हैं और जो डिजिटल लर्निंग क्लासेस या फ्लिप्ड क्लासेस रूम है, इसका हम यहाँ पर बना रहे हैं, कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि हमारी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर भी इस तरह का हो, क्योंकि आज से ये हो सकता है कि हम एक जगह एक लाइब्रेरी में बैठ करके पूरे वर्ल्ड की जो लाइब्रेरीज है उनके अंदर जो बेस्ट बुक है उनका अध्ययन कर सकते हैं। उसी प्रकार हम ये सोचते हैं कि भाई इस तरह की एक इनोवेशन होना चाहिए टीचिंग के अंदर, जिसमें जो टीचर्स है और टीचर्स के साथ जो उसका स्टूडेंट है, टीचर आसानी से समझा सके, जो उसका स्टूडेंट है वो आसानी से समझ सके। इस तरह का एक इनोवेशन हो, जो टीचिंग है वो बोरिंग भी ना हो, स्टूडेंट उसमें इंटरेस्ट ले और उसी के अनुसार अपनी स्टडी करे।
Hello, sir. Sir,
Yes.
sir, most of the participants from other states, so we can't able to understand you while you're teaching in Hindi, sir. Please kindly teach me in English.
Just, ma'am, I want to talk. It is a inaugural lecture. Just lecture will be started in English by Dr. Gunjan. It is our welcome address. Continue, sir. Sanjeev, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Continue.
So इसलिए मैं यही कहना चाहूंगा कि जो लर्निंग एंड टीचिंग प्रोग्राम जो जिसके अंदर जितने इनोवेशन होने चाहिए वो जरूरी हैं, और बेहतर स्टडी के लिए ये हमें करना पड़ेगा, समय की जरूरत है। इसलिए स्टडी को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, इंटरेस्टिंग करने के लिए ये चीजें हमें करनी पड़ेंगी। थैंक यू सर।
संजीव सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आपने बहुत ही अच्छे से आज का जो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम का जो टॉपिक है उसकी गंभीरता को, उसकी स्थायित्वता को आपने बहुत ही अच्छे से समझाया हमें। आप हमारे बीच में मौजूद रहे, इसके लिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर।
So ma'am, I am not comfort in English.
सर लैंग्वेज
There is no problem.
सर लैंग्वेज कोई मैटर नहीं करता है, और ये तो एक माध्यम है बस अपने विचारों को दूसरे तक प्रस्तुत करने का। और आपने हमें हिंदी भाषा में समझाया, हम सब भारतीय हैं, आपने बहुत अच्छे से बोला सर, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है।
Yes मैम, मैं समझता हूँ इसमें कुछ ऐसे पार्टिसिपेशन कर रहे होंगे लोग जो इंग्लिश ही समझ सकते हों, उसके लिए सॉरी सर। जो हमारा जो हिंदी बेल्ट है इसके अंदर मैक्सिमम हिंदी बोली जाती है, इसलिए हमारी प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं है इंग्लिश में पढ़ाने की, बोलने की।
सर
सॉरी।
आदरणीय सर, नमस्कार।
नमस्ते सर।
सर एक्चुअली क्या है कि हम लोगों ने अब ये स्टार्ट किया है सर, जैसे हमारा नेक का प्रोग्राम होता था पूरा इंग्लिश में, तो कुछ अनुरोध हमारे पास आया था कि हिंदी में हो वो, तो हम धीरे धीरे दोनों ये प्रोग्राम हम दोनों फॉर्मेट में करना स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं सर। तो होप्स हो कि नेक्स्ट मंथ वाला प्रोग्राम हिंदी में भी होगा इस तरह का।
सर हम भी यही कर रहे हैं, हमारे जो रिसर्च के अंदर और लाइब्रेरीज के अंदर, और एक हम इस तरह का कोर्सेज भी शुरू कर रहे हैं कि स्टूडेंट को जो लर्निंग के अंदर चाहे हिंदी हो चाहे या इंग्लिश हो, कोई भी लैंग्वेज हो, समझने या सीखने में आसान हो। इसलिए हम भी इस तरह के प्रोग्राम चलाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। आपने इसके लिए जो समय दिया मुझे, उसके लिए मैं आपको बार बार धन्यवाद कहूंगा। थैंक यू सर।
धन्यवाद संजीव सर। And now I am welcome our today's guest of honor and our today's expert, Dr. Gunjan Shukla ma'am. Dr. Gunjan Shukla ma'am, a true academician, mentor and research working as principal, Vikrant Institute of Integrated and Advanced Studies, Indore. She is a researcher and academician, gold medalist in post-graduation with financial management, having 15 years of experience in as a academics. She has guided 3 PhD and mentored several startups. She is a certified parenting coach, motivational speaker. She has received various academic awards. She has published many research papers in several national and international journals. She is also associated with United Consciousness and working for world peace and happiness. Welcome, ma'am. I kindly request to you, please, Dr. Gunjan Shukla, ma'am, to share your
Thank
knowledge
you.
with us
Yeah,
for tips for
sure.
conducting group discussion as innovative teaching practices. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Indira ma'am. And I would like to thank RFI again for giving me the opportunity to share my views on innovative teaching practices, that is group discussion. I would also like to acknowledge Dr. Sanjeev, as he was very assertive towards the steps has been taken by new education policy and the government to make teaching learning more interesting, and where teachers need to come up with some innovative practices and some innovative approach to make the sessions and to make the classroom more strong and more interesting for students. We being teacher always believe that students should have maximum takeaway from our lecture. So it is always suggested that the teaching pattern should never be monotonous. So considering this fact, RFI has designed this FDP, and today is the first class, and I'll be talking about group discussion. So, without wasting much of your time, I request the technical team, Mr. Yograj Panchle, is supporting me today. Thank you so much, as I'm at workplace right now. So, need his support to conduct the PPTs. So, I request you to please operate the PPTs. Can we move to the first slide? So as we all know that group discussion is a technique used by corporate companies, educational institutions, and other organizations to judge the communication skills of participants. Communication skills are a crucial factor when compared to a technical knowledge or any corporate environment. Now, so far as group discussion is concerned, it is not only important just for the sake of conducting it in the class, just to pass on any lecture, or just randomly giving students a topic that today we are not having anything, we have not planned anything, let's go for a group discussion with the student. So it always needs, when we being teacher proceed for taking lecture, we need to make a lot of preparations. Now, as we know that we use teaching, we use chalk and board as a traditional practice of teaching, or normally a lecture. To make it more interesting, group discussion can be one of the tools. Now, when we are planning group discussion, I want to tell you that group discussion is not only important when it is about taking the class or randomly giving them topic and just asking them to put your views on this topic. When student is also not prepared, when teacher is also not prepared, it is going to create lot of misunderstanding. It will not clear the objective of the group discussion. So it is always suggested that group discussion is part of corporate companies when it is about placement scenario. It is part of educational institutes when it is about admission scenario, because in most of the A grade colleges or topmost institution, when any of the student is appearing for admission, the student need to clear group discussion round. When any of the student is appearing for placement, student again need to clear group discussion round, because this is one of the round has been organized during placement. Then candidate proceed for interview and other rounds. Other thing is, for judging the communication skill and the confidence of any of the participant or any of the technical scenario, where few people are sitting together on a table and discussing a topic. Group discussion is one of the important, I must say, the technique where so many people, 5-6 people can sit together on the table and share their views. So this is kind of brainstorming session also. Can we move to the next slide? Now, as we all know that we being teachers always get a group of students in the class, we need to first understand and classify that how many students take initiatives? Who else are the initiators? Now, while every day moving in the class and taking the lecture, few of these students, they keep taking a lot of interest. They keep initiating the things in the class. They keep, whenever you ask any question, they participate. They put their views in the class. So they are initiators. You also need to observe those kind of students who are very like kind of more interrupters. When somebody is talking, when a student is trying to speak something in the class, there are like two or three students, they again jump to the same similar kind of discussions. So I am trying to tell you here is that a group discussion, number of students are, can be, few of them are initiators, few of them are interrupters, few of them can talk on the similar views, few are introvert. Now I want to highlight this particular section of the student where students hesitate to participate in the class. They hesitate, they feel a bit hitch to say few thing or any of the thing, just because they may lack the confidence, they may lack the language support. So these kind of things you need to identify in the class before planning any of the group discussion, because group discussion, when you are implementing in the class or when you have decided it one of the lecture, or maybe while planning your lesson plan, there are few topics which can be taken as a group discussion in the class. First we teach the concept and then we can proceed to take it as a group discussion, so that lot of updated scenario or the past scenario or any of the historical event or any of the new incidents that can be taken in relation to that concept, and then you can plan a group discussion session in the class where you will have a group of people or students who will be leaders, who also will, there will be students who will uh, normally they support the views which are being shared by others. There may be some interrupters, because at times it happens in the group discussion that few of these students are talking about for of supporting the topic, few of them are talking against the topic. So we always have a group of students. Now here there are leaders also in the batch. Those leaders, they take the lead to organize, they take the lead to initiate the discussion, they take the lead to come to conclusion, and there are challenges. So these kind of classification is required by your teacher, that first understand what all kind of batch you are handling, and in this batch how many students are falling in this following categories, and then plan the lecture. Suppose there are students who they were more of initiators and more of leading kind of approach students are having, and more students with challenging, they like to take challenges, they like to discuss the things. In that case, taking group discussion becomes very easy for the teacher also. But just in case if you have a batch where students feel hesitate to participate, they feel bit introvert, they are not feeling free to talk about any of the things, the planning becomes a bit difficult and execution and implication become more difficult. So first of all, need to understand, I always suggest in my session that if you're planning a group discussion, first take few sessions. What is group discussion? Why we are organizing this group discussion? Because I have observed most of the time that teachers sometimes whenever they feel like having a free lecture with any of the class, they suddenly jump to group discussion, which is not going to give you any of the result or any conclusion or any, it is not going to make any sense. The most important thing is classification of student. Now you need to take few sessions on what group discussion is all about, why are you taking this activity, what is the importance, because we being teacher understand this also, that many of the students are studying in the English medium or Hindi medium or whatever, but after their college or schools they proceed for some personality development classes and other classes and some other these kind of support. Now you need to make them understand the importance of group discussion. If you are able to give them that insight that this activity has its own importance, it is going to improve your following dimensions. आप अगर उनको बताते हैं कि इसका महत्व क्या है, what is group discussion all about and why we are planning this activity, because when a student in the first year will not understand the importance of the placement, and when they suddenly come to third year and when they are sitting in the placement, when they are facing a scenario where people coming from corporate give them suddenly a topic and they ask them to put the views on those on that particular topic, it becomes very difficult for the student. And maybe the candidate is good, but because the skill is not that good and the candidate is not used to of participating in the group discussion, at times it happens they're not able to speak, even when they know the things, even when they have knowledge, but they're not able to share. So we being teacher need to make them understand this innovative teaching pedagogy, what role does it is going to play in their development. Why are we using this technique? Now, as this slide is particularly saying that, there may be group of students, as I'm talking specifically about introverts, because whenever I take this session, this question always been asked with me by the participants that, ma'am, there are few students who never like to speak in the class. How we can force them? So you need to first make them understand the importance. आप उसको महत्व बताइए, उसका जो क्रक्स है, उसको वो कैसे आगे तक ले जा सकता है अपने इम्प्रूवमेंट के लिए, अपने कम्युनिकेशन को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए, अपने नॉलेज को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए. So this how it brings lot of change in the understanding of the student, and then students suddenly, slowly, gradually, are able to understand the importance of group discussion. Because otherwise, if we are not able to make them realize the importance, they will just feel that we are passing time with a topic, and some are talking on for, some are talking against, some are putting few things. Later on, the class will be dispersed, and that particular session is not going to give you the output which you are looking for. So that is why it is important. Make them understand why we are doing this. Make them feel that there are group of students, you are speaking well, if you are interrupting in between, you need to make them understand that how they should, keep their point of view, rather than fighting. Because it also happens in the class when you take GD, students start fighting, it becomes a debate. So it should not lose the essence of group discussion. That particular session should not lose the essence of group discussion. So make them understand what is all the rules and regulation, do's and don'ts they should understand while taking this session in the class. Students and teachers both needs preparation. Let's not suddenly randomly take any of the day and suddenly jump to this teaching practice. Next slide, please. Yuvraj sir, can we move to next slide? Yes. Now, GD enhance following in skills in the students, as I've already told you, that it is not only about, just for the sake of we are doing many innovative practices in the college, we being teachers follow GD also. But as I told you in the previous slide, that you need to make them understand why we are doing this, how it is going to help you as a student, what you are going to improve. So tell them that they will grow confidence. It will make their communication effective. They will learn quality language. They will also learn listening skills, which is very important. Now, it is very important for one of these speakers. If you want to be a good speaker, you need to be a very good listener as well. So make them understand that listening skills will also grow. Assertive attitude will also grow, because let the GD not convert into debate. They should not fight on for and against of any of the topic. So that assertive attitude can be generated, can be developed in the student. Also make them understand that after few years, when you will be sitting in corporates or any of the organization you will be working, and there is some meeting going on, suddenly you want to accept something which point has been given by somebody. Now that assertive attitude will help the student in longer run. The person will be able to understand that discussion needs support, not fight. They should not debate. So that assertiveness in behavior, to accept what has been said by other, by respecting the words of other, you can put your own views, and there is a way of putting views. Now, when this GD is happening in the class, the scenario is different. When the GD is happening in placement, now this is a situation where if student is not participating well, if student is not putting point of views properly, if student is not able to speak, you need to make them understand class mein nahi bologe to chalega, but agar placement mein if you are not able to speak, you will be thrown out of the placement. Aapki selection nahi ho payegi. If somebody is doing this group discussion in corporates or companies, the takeaway will be different, the execution will be different, because there some or the other decision making thing is going on, where brainstorming has been done by so many people sitting together. They are putting their views, and then somebody will reach to the conclusion. So make them understand that it is not only the part of classroom, but also at different level group discussion happens, and how to make it more successful that you need to understand where you are sitting, how you have to respond, how you have to be participative. And while participating in the group discussion, what all positive body language, what all positive thoughts you need to carry, what all positive words you need to use during putting your own suggestions in front of others. Leadership skills also get generated because it happens that, when the 8 or 9 students are sitting together, one will take the lead. Now, if somebody is taking the lead, will definitely direct the direction of the communication or discussion into a proper way, rather than losing the what needs to be done in the group discussion. हम टॉपिक से ही हट गए और वहां पे डिस्कशन में कुछ और चीजें होने लग गई, बच्चे बहुत सारे शोर मचाने लग गए. It should not happen in that way. So that kind of leadership skill can be generated in the student. That is why before conducting the class, tell them that you have to work on these parameters, and you will be working slowly, gradually, and you will develop all these skills in yourself if you will participate properly. And later on in the slide, I will be telling you to evaluate the group discussion. And while evaluating, give student individually the feedback that you particularly, you were participating in this manner. These are the body language issues. These were the words issues. These were the sentence issues. So how you have to improve, that can be taken care in future. Next slide, please. Yograj sir, can we move to next slide? Now, skills improved after GD, as I've already told you, is assertiveness. Assertiveness is a confidence level of a candidate shows up in the group discussion. It is assessed that how confident candidates are while putting up their own opinion in front of others, as I've already told you. Because group discussion, यहाँ पे तो बच्चा सीख रहा है. When student is studying in KG1 or first standard, ABCD तो सीख रहा है, पर उसको पता होना चाहिए वो ABCD कहाँ और कैसे apply होना है. So if group discussion, some student is learning, the person needs to understand that assertiveness is needed when you are sitting in class in a different manner, when you are sitting in a conference in a different manner, when you are sitting in placement for a group discussion in a different manner, when you are sitting for admission, when you are taking a seat in the topmost management institution, and GD is again one of the criteria to be clear. Now there you need to be totally, if you have to play a different assertive role, you have to participate in that way, so that you are accepting the view of other candidates, and then you are slowly, gradually trying to participate and put your own views as well. So that assertiveness, you need to make them understand. You need to make student understand that assertiveness in character, in behavior, in words, in language is very, very important, which you can make them understand with the help of group discussion. Also, like if we are teaching a subject like business environment, or if we are teaching a subject like business law, now there are so many issues and so many things which can be raised by, if student is well prepared with the topic, they will come up with so many facts and figures. Now that time it becomes very important for student to understand other person as well and take it on a positive way, and then you can, by accepting someone's view, I would like to add on to this thing. So there are ways, there are verbs, there are sentences, there are words which can be used in assertive manner, so that you can keep your point of view properly. Make them understand the teamwork also. It is very important that while working, as I've told you, group discussion has its own different role to be played. If somebody is working in the company and playing a role of leader or playing a role of a boss sometimes, so you need to understand the other person's perspective as well. And this quality is really important and will be evaluated throughout the group discussion. You not only put your point of views, but also listen to others and then come to a conclusion. Because while making any, suppose, you can take a topic as a group discussion in case of marketing. Now you have given them a topic that where they have to, fulfill the gap, and they are planning for a product. Now product planning needs lot of brainstorming. Now everybody is doing that brainstorming and they're putting their views, and later on the team leader is taking all those views and they're coming to a decision making. So it is, yes, one of the making, and this is one of the best way you can make your student learn how a team works, how you need to listen to others also and give them also a weightage. Leadership quality, yes, group discussion clearly indicates who amongst all the participants is taking the lead and who is possessive, passive constant, and as a leader, gives the entire discussion a good direction and take it forward whenever it is moving to the main topic. This quality is also evaluated through this process only. As I've already told you, communication skill is again the best thing which you can improve in the group discussion if it is happening in the structured scenario. Next slide, please. Yugraj sir, can we move to next slide? Yes. Now, there are certain activities which you also need to pursue or perform before taking something to group discussion. Steps of group discussion. Topic announcement. You know, you need to give them a topic. You maybe a day before you can share that topic in the class with the students that we will be talking about the contribution of Sherpa in G20. Or maybe you are going to talk about a lot of contribution of the other countries in the economic development, or maybe any of this scenario, because it is one of the teaching pedagogy where all the subjects can use this approach. So decide the topic, announce the topic in the class, give them some preparation time so that they can do their homework also. Because randomly, if you will take the group discussion, let me tell you one thing, none of these students are there, very less percentage of students are that sincere that they go through with the latest updates in the news. Or might be your group discussion topic is something which is talking also about the facts and figures which you need to take from the annual reports of the company, or maybe some historic facts and figures you are required in your group discussion. So give them some preparation time, please. And then let them start and let the participants follow it later on, and then judge the individual performance, as I have told you already. There are parameters on which teachers should judge the group discussion and the group of students who are participating in that group discussion, or particularly a class. Now here I would like to add on one of my experience that, few years back when universities says that, if you are putting this group discussion or innovative teaching practices in your curriculum, how will you justify? Now what I used to do is, I used to take this group discussion as a CCE mode, internal test. Now, what I used to do, I used to take one of the subject, or in that particular subject, I used to take one topic and I tried to connect the topic with the current scenario. I used to take one session on this. I used to give them then that homework that now you have to prepare on this particular thing, and then come prepared with the inputs, and then participate in the GD. Don't just sit idle. Make them understand if you are going to sit idle, you will lose marks. Now, if you create that marks wala approach in this activity, or internals, or class participation, or GD participation marks, or evaluation something, students slowly, gradually try to understand. If they understand that this is going to impact our overall result, and we are going to learn so many things, because टीचर को इंटरेस्ट डेवलप करना पड़ता है बच्चे के अंदर. तो अगर हमने वो इंटरेस्ट डेवलप कर दिया है, believe me, half of the magic is done. Now you have to judge the individual performance, and after judging the individual performance, you can give them feedback and make them understand where they should grow. Because आप जब टीचर बच्चे के साथ ये कनेक्ट बनाते हैं, when you individually give the feedback to स्टूडेंट को आपकी इंपॉर्टेंस रियलाइज होती है. स्टूडेंट को समझ में आता है टीचर इज कंसर्न अबाउट माय परफॉर्मेंस, टीचर इज कंसर्न अबाउट आई हैव टू इम्प्रूव, टीचर इज कंसर्न अबाउट what is the right step I need to take and how I should monitor myself. So that is why we, being teacher, are responsible always to take care of our kids. Can we move to next slide, sir? Now, what is the purpose of group discussion? क्यों करना है? There are several purposes for group discussion. Some of them are listed below. To reach a solution on an issue of concern. Now, this is one of the slides which I feel is very important. Why I always share this with my participants, that group discussion क्यों करना है? आप उन्हें बताइए कि when you are trying to reach to any of these solutions which are concerned for the organization, or maybe the concern for nation, or maybe the concern for economy, किसी भी चीज का इशू हो सकता है जिसका सॉल्यूशन चाहिए, उसको ग्रुप डिस्कशन के द्वारा लाया जा सकता है. To generate new ideas for solving a problem, obviously. Now, there are few, I must say, few topics or few business ideas or few new ideas in your scenario where you are working, or where they will be working in the future, or maybe they are planning any of the product, or maybe they are doing some innovation, or maybe they are solving any of the case study. group discussion can be again one of the tool which can be used to resolve the problem. For choosing the applicant after return test for a job or admission for the educational institution, ये मैंने आपको पहले स्लाइड से ही बताया कि ग्रुप डिस्कशन का अपना इंपॉर्टेंस है, ये किस सिनेरियो में हम कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं, whether we are conducting it in the class or in educational institution admission के टाइम पे, or for the placement, or for any of the company or corporate meeting, or maybe in company or corporate any of the group decision making thing is going on. It can be any of this to train ourselves in various interpersonal skills. Now, when you participate, make them understand that when you will be participating in group discussion, you will be sitting with the team. Now, when you are sitting with the team, you eventually share, opinions. You listen to somebody, and this is how it also, communication is one of the best way where interpersonal skills can be improved. So when they are sitting on a single platform, when they are trying to resolve, a single issue, it takes a lot of, they make a lot of connect, and they also need to take care that they should respect others' point of view. They should keep their own point of view rather, and they should not fight, and they should come to a conclusion after that discussion. It should not left open-ended. Next slide, please. Yuvraj sir. Yuvraj sir, can we move to next slide? Yes. Now there are types of discussion. This is one of the important slide. Again, I would like to tell you that group discussion can be topic based. Now, as I've already told you, in this discussion, a topic is provided to the candidate about what they have to perform in the discussion. This logic has been drawn from actual work scenario. In this discussion, the given topics are of three kinds, maybe fact-based, maybe controversial, maybe abstract topic, which is related to intangible things. This is something where, as I mentioned in the previous slide, that sometimes it can be fact-based. So they need preparation. Sometimes it will become controversial. As I've already told you, they should not lose that essence. So that discussion should be there. The flow should be good. Rather, they should not keep fighting. They should not start fighting with each other on their point of views. They should not have ego. They should have that capacity to accept what other person is saying with cool and calm mind. Teach them all these things. You need to have that peace of mind while listening to others also. Abstract topics might be something which has been decided in the class, and on any of these kind of topics usually in the literature used by the teachers, and that kind of things, that group discussion can be part of it. Case based. Now this is one of the good approach used by management teachers. We take case studies in the class. Now what happens usually is, when we open the case, we also need to teach our students that how to open the case in the class. Now when we open the case, we have so many dimensions in the case. Now suddenly, we come to a lot of discussion. Now that discussion is, if going on, that can be resolved, that case can be resolved with the help of that group discussion, and problem can be resolved, and all the gap filling can be done by the student. All the facts and figures can be raised by the students after reading that particular case. So that case study scenario can also be taken as group discussion. Apart from that, you can randomly create a caselet, small caselet, and you can create a topic, and with the help of that topic, you can carry forward with the group discussion. So group discussion आप topic based भी कर सकते हैं, और आप case based भी कर सकते हैं. Case based में you can talk about any of the scenario. Like for example, recently that merger of HDFC is going on. Now you can have this group discussion in the class, that whether this HDFC Limited is going to gain out of it, or with what all employees are going to gain out of it, or what all losses people will face, or how the banking will take एक रास्ता कैसे बनाएंगे, बिकॉज 2024 तक ये तैयारी अभी बैंक कर रही है और मर्जर चल रहा है. This is one of the good topic which you can take as a case also, and as a group discussion also in the class, if it is a management class. Now, if it is a commerce class, you can decide that commerce based case you can take. If it is generally a general management or general class where you are trying to teach them communication, might be communication is the issue, case based उस तरीके से भी लिया जा सकता है. तो ऐसे बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स हम टीचर्स के पास होते हैं जिनको हम टॉपिक बेस्ड भी कर सकते हैं और केस बेस्ड भी कर सकते हैं. कैन वी मूव टू नेक्स्ट स्लाइड, योगराज सर? नाउ ग्रुप डिस्कशन, जैसा मैंने आपको बताया कि ग्रुप डिस्कशन को हम टॉपिक बेस्ड और केस बेस्ड कर सकते हैं. जब टॉपिक बेस्ड की बात होती है तो 3 प्रकार के टॉपिक वी कैन मेक: फैक्चुअल टॉपिक्स, पॉलिटिकल और कंट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक्स, और एब्स्ट्रैक्ट बेस्ड टॉपिक्स. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड सर. Now, evaluation, this is one of the important slide. I must tell you, you all can take the snapshot of it. You know, this is the parameter where you really judge the performance of the candidate. Because in group discussion, you need to judge the content, you need to judge the communication skill, you need to judge the group behavior, and you also need to judge the interpersonal skill of the candidate. Now, when so far as the content is concerned, you talk about knowledge, you talk about reading part, you talk about how relevant the person is speaking, how original is the content, what all creativity the person is using, how the person is coding the examples, and how all in a best way, in a creative way, he or she is trying to resolve the issue or putting the points, how much awareness the student is having, and judgment किस प्रकार से हो रहा है. ये सारी चीजें, मतलब वो भी ऑब्जर्व कैसे कर रहा है चीजों को, ये सारी चीजों को, कंटेंट को आप इवैल्यूएशन के पैरामीटर्स में यूज कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज द कम्युनिकेशन स्किल, वेयर वर्बल, obviously language clarity plays a very important role, aptitude, listening skills, speaking skills, non-verbal postures, eye contacts, body language, gestures, and facial expressions. Now, I must tell you, make your students understand that communication skills has these many parameters to be judged. Now, when they are sitting in the class, might be in internal examination, किसी पार्ट पे मिस हो गया तो चल जाता है, लेकिन make them understand that if they want to be successful, they need to have very good communication skills. If they want to crack the placement, if they are sitting for any of the admission, it is very, very important that they should have good communication skill. That language clarity plays a very important role. That attitude also plays a very important role. Aptitude also plays an important role. And then, it is also about the kind of non-verbal postures the person is making, the kind of eye contact person is making, the body language of the candidate, and the gestures and facial expressions. Because non-verbal communication has its own importance. हम बहुत सारी बातें शब्दों में नहीं, पर हरकतों में, इशारों में, और अपने बैठने, उठने, बोलने, चालने, एक्सप्रेशंस, फेस में बनाना, ये सब से हम बहुत कुछ कम्युनिकेट कर देते हैं. तो प्लीज उनको ये समझाइए, बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प देम इन द लॉन्गर रन. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के हिसाब से आज हम जो भी अपने बच्चों को पढ़ा रहे हैं, जो भी स्किल्स डेवलप कर रहे हैं, इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट द करंट सिनेरियो, इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट गेटिंग make them understand that you have to clear this BB or BCom degree or do MBA and whatever, but we are trying to create creative human beings, professionals, smart professionals. And when we say that, we create smart professionals, now most of the educational institutions, most of us as an academician, we say we are developing smart professionals. उनको ये बताना बहुत जरूरी होता है. Although I understand that we being teachers are more concerned about all these areas. आज का बच्चा उतना कंसर्न नहीं है, बट ठीक है, हम कुछ एफर्ट लगा सकते हैं, कुछ तरीके से उन्हें इन चीजों के, इन एस्पेक्ट्स के इंपॉर्टेंस फ्यूचर में क्या हो सकते हैं वो हम उनको बता सकते हैं. इसीलिए कम्युनिकेशन स्किल पर उन्हें काम करने के लिए समझाइए, और उन्हें इन सब एस्पेक्ट्स पर, इन पैरामीटर्स पे अपने आप पर वर्क करने के लिए बोलिए. एंड दैट इज व्हाई ग्रुप डिस्कशन शुड बी टेकन इन द क्लास, सो दैट ऑल दिस पैरामीटर्स कैन बी taken care by each of the students properly. Then comes the group behavior. Now, when you are sitting in the group, you need to take initiative, you need to have your own rapport, you need to resolve the conflict if something is happening. Group dynamics plays a very important role, team management, and last but not the least, the student will understand that, you have to take care of team. Now, when you are taking care of team, you need to make them, each of the team member participate. You need to make them understand also, you need to cooperate them, and you need to first of all tell them whether whatever the result is going to happen, please accept what is, maybe it is victory, or it is, if you are going to fail, you have to accept it, rather than putting a lot of aggression, or maybe fighting inside the team, that they are not happy with each other, they are not sharing good relation with each other. And sometimes it happens because they are kids, right? So it has its own importance that they need to understand the group behavior. Team building scenario, and a lot of initiative one need to take being a team leader, or maybe in the group discussion when people are sitting, there is no team leader, but one has to initiate. Now, each and every student, you need to make them understand the sense of or the importance of initiative taking. इनिशिएटिव लेना, ये हर बच्चे को सिखाना बहुत जरूरी है. आप सभी ने ऑब्जर्व किया होगा, जब भी किसी क्लास में ले जाते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, उनको बोलते हैं प्लीज टेक योर सीट्स, बच्चे जाके पीछे से बैठना शुरू करते हैं. फर्स्ट बेंच पे बहुत कम आते हैं बच्चे. उनको बताइए, उन्हें समझाइए कि इनिशिएटिव लेने का अपना एक इंपॉर्टेंस है. इफ दे वांट टू ग्रो देयर कॉन्फिडेंस, ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या होगा, फेल हो जाओगे, लेकिन आपके पास लर्निंग्स होंगी. नेल्सन मंडेला की एक लाइन मुझे यहाँ याद आ रही है. उन्होंने कहा कि वॉट एवर आई डू, आई नेवर लूज, आई आइदर विन और आई लर्न. सो ये तो सिखाइए, ये बहुत जरूरी है. इसी के साथ ये बहुत आवश्यक होता है कि हम अपने स्टूडेंट को ये भी बताएं कि इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स जो हैं, जैसे लीडरशिप है, असर्टिव बिहेवियर है, टीम मैनेजमेंट है, डिसीजन मेकिंग है, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एटीट्यूड है, इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एबिलिटी होना जरूरी है, इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस होना जरूरी है, इमोशंस को मैनेज करना, टीम में सबके साथ कोऑर्डिनेट करना, ये सब बहुत आवश्यक है. So, this is one of the activity where student will not only learn or participate or just keep the point of view, but first, as I told you on my first slide, that take one session and make them understand that these are the criteria which has its own impact when you participate properly in the group discussion. अभी normally आप किसी student को बोलते हैं ना, कल हम group discussion करेंगे, they don't understand its importance. लेकिन अगर हम उसको उसका महत्व समझाते हैं, उसे बताते हैं कि इस एक एक्टिविटी को अगर आप प्रॉपर्ली करते हैं, बार बार करते हैं, रैंडमली करते हैं क्लास में, यू विल ग्रो इन ऑल दीज डायमेंशंस. सो दिस इज वन ऑफ द magic which you can create in the class and make them understand. Can we move to next slide? Now, as I've already told you, there are roles of the group people in the GD to make it successful. Yes. अब मैंने आपको बताया कि क्लास में there is always group of students. Group of students may be initiative taking. Some are, some like to take challenges. Some like to be very, very introvert. They don't speak much. Now, you always have these kind of students in your group also. कुछ होंगे क्रिएटर, कुछ होंगे प्रमोटर, कुछ होंगे एसेसर, कुछ होंगे ऑर्गेनाइजर, प्रोड्यूसर, कंट्रोलर, मेंटेनर, एडवाइजर एंड लिंकर. Now, you need to understand, once you have analyzed your group, A, B, C, D student I am having. Now, A is having that quality. The student is good in generating idea and finding the solutions. Now, B is somebody who can, B number का जो बच्चा है, या B नाम का जो बच्चा है, वो बहुत अच्छा कोऑर्डिनेट करता है, तो become a linker. C नाम का एक स्टूडेंट है, good encouragement or good motivation the person is having. You can give that kind of role and responsibility, and you can make them understand how they have to speak. And you can analyze also randomly. You can also analyze while they are talking, while they are putting their views. You can understand, the members in the group or members or students in the class, that who are kind of controller, who examine the details and enforce. Some of these students specifically talk about facts and figures and statistics when you take group discussion. कुछ बच्चे बहुत फैक्ट्स पर बात करते हैं, कुछ बच्चे बहुत परसेंटेज पर बात करते हैं, कुछ बच्चे बहुत फिगर में बात करते हैं. तो आपको अलग अलग कैटेगरी ऑफ स्टूडेंट भी आइडेंटिफाई करने में मदद मिलती है. प्लस आप भी उन्हें बताइए कि व्हेन यू विल स्पीक इन दिस मैनर, how you will make your speech more effective. When you add more statistics in your speech, when you quote more examples, when you quote more good things in your content, it gives a different understanding to others also, and you play an important role in the group. Now, you can be a promoter also, you are coming up with different alternative ideas. If that group discussion is going on, they're trying to resolve any of the issue, they want to generate any idea. Now, what is happening? Might be there is one of the student who is coming up with a lot of alternatives. There are 2-3 students that they have very good options, they have very good idea generation capacity. So that you need to judge, and this how students also can act in the group and they can make the GD successful. Next slide, sir. GD can be divided in roles to discuss a scenario, as I've already told you. Company scenario, political issue, any of the theme-based or fact-based, etc. Next slide, sir. Importance of group discussion. in education and learning. Now, it enhances the critical thinking also. It helps in understanding. It improves the communication skills. It improves the interest of lesson, and it also provide the feedback. Now, I have always told you one of the best way is, because students never understand the necessity and importance. They feel that हाँ हमें जो हमको आता है बहुत अच्छे से आता है, नहीं आएगा तो क्या होगा. तो हमने इम्पोर्टेंस बता दिया कि भाई आना इसलिए जरूरी है बिकॉज यू शुड ग्रो ऑन दिस एस्पेक्ट्स, है ना. और फीडबैक देना इसलिए जरूरी है सो दैट दे कैन improve well. Now if somebody is speaking good but they need to improve at the part of content, we can give them that feedback. If some of these students are trying to speak but not able to get that clarity while speaking, we can give them that feedback. Might be the body language of some of the candidate is not good, you can give that kind of feedback. So all those kind of feedback of whatever parameters we have discussed in the previous slide, that can be taken care by the instructor, and then you can prepare your feedback report and you can give that feedback to the student. Now this also create lot of interest in the lessons, because suppose if we take an example of today's scenario, suppose if I'm trying to take a GD on G20. Now I will make them understand what is why G20 is important, why we should do this, what is its importance. Now make them read more, come prepare, give them more content, give them more understanding. Now what happens is slowly gradually student का interest create होना शुरू होता है. एफर्ट पहले टीचर को ही करना पड़ता है. तो आप और हम जब हम क्लास में जाते हैं, हम किसी भी लेसन की बात कर रहे हैं, we need to make, I will again quote one of the example of financial management. Financial management mein there are very good topics like working capital management, or maybe cost of capital or capital structure. Now what happens, or leverage. So while teaching leverage, what happens is there is a practical problem. Now give them a role of financial manager and tell them that this is the scenario and this is the operating leverage, this is the financial leverage, this is the operating profit. Now how company should proceed, whether company should invest in this particular scenario or not, what is the EPS, how that EPS can be improved more, how the leverage can be reduced, फिक्स कॉस्ट को कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट को कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, ईबीटा को कैसे इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं, इस पर एक डिस्कशन हो सकता है. सो दिस ऑल्सो क्रिएट्स लॉट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट अबाउट दिस सब्जेक्ट इन द स्टूडेंट. मे बी इफ वी टॉक अबाउट अकाउंटेंसी, I will also like to quote about accountancy. हम बहुत बार ऐसा सोचते हैं कि ग्रुप डिस्कशन एक ऐसा in teaching pedagogy है जो usually it is only for the kind of theory subject. No, I must tell you, there are questions, there are practicals in finance also, there are practicals in accountancy also, where small caselets are there, and you being a financial manager or accounting professional, you have to take decision. Now take this scenario in the class. Yes, I'll be sharing the PPT, sir. Take the scenario in the class and discuss all these things in the class, and give them this role. You will be kind of you have to take this decision. Now how you are going to take the decision, what all parameters you will take. So that can be again a kind of way to create interest of student in that particular subject. So yes, group discussion creates with the help of group discussion, you can create lot of interest in the students, and slowly students will also improve. Next slide, sir. Yograj sir, can we move to next slide? Benefits I've already told you. Suggestions, it is a wide approach, it helps in decision making, it is kind of exchange of ideas, it is one of the productive activity. When we talk about suggestions, it is through group discussion that a meaningful and practically implementable solution can be reached. The collaboration of these suggestions give rise new one, or creating space for the best possible output, because all the students will be coming up with their own suggestions. So yes, the brainstorming will happen, and they will understand why these giving suggestions is important, and how suggestions are happening. So that then they will understand that yes, कभी भी corporate sector में काम करेंगे जाके तो टीम के साथ बैठ के भी group discussion करना है. They will understand that. Wide approach, group discussion help to provide a wide approach to any concern under consideration, as it includes employees from different sections of the particular business organization. When we are teaching business organization, when we are teaching organizational behavior, go for group discussion. This is one of the important and very effective tool where आप जो बहुत सारी theories पढ़ाते हैं ना, वो सारी theories को आप group discussion में वो learning दे सकते हैं जो हम normal teaching में नहीं दे सकते. Then comes decision making. Yes, decision making is one of the important aspect of group discussion. Exchange of ideas happens, and yes, it is productive activity. It saves time. Lot of suggestions, point of views are coming, and you can reach to a conclusion later on. Yes. Next slide, sir. Can we move to next slide? So there are some do's and don'ts of group discussion. There are several things which you have to be careful about while taking the group discussion. You need to make them understand that you have to speak very pleasantly and you have to be very polite in the group. Respect and recognize the contribution of every member who are present. You should, when you're listening to somebody, you should nod, you should smile. Rather than giving very bad expressions to somebody or some of the other participant, because this happens during the placement scenario also, this happens during the admission scenario also, this happens during the classroom sessions also. So they should not fight, they should be very polite in the overall body language. Agree and acknowledge whatever you feel like interesting, you found interesting in someone's point of view. Agree and disagree politely, because it is a discussion, it is not an argument. Do a lot of mental revision, what you are going to say, how you are going to present, and how you are going to answer the questions, how you will contribute towards the topic. That you need to make them understand that all these do's needs lot of preparation at home. इसको तैयार करके आना है, उन्हें ये समझाना है हमें. Stick to the theme of discussion and not get engaged in any of the irrelevant discussion. कहते ना कि रास्ता ही भटक गए हम डिस्कशन करते करते, तो वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Follow etiquettes while speaking and be very, very confident that these all things we need to make them understand. Don'ts are like, they should not lose the temper, they should not speak aggressively, they should have very polite kind of gestures if they are using, pointing out somebody or fighting with. So these all things can be avoided, and they should not draw any kind of they should not make a personal judgment or some personal examples they should not quote during the group discussion. The all such things plays very important role. Next slide, sir. Yoga, sir. All right. So we are done with my presentation, and I hope I am able to make you all understand, we being teacher, how we should proceed for taking this new teaching pedagogy in the class, and how we can make it more effective, and how we can give them lot of hidden learnings. ग्रुप डिस्कशन में ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ बहुत सारी छोटी छोटी सी चीजें हैं जो हम बता पाते हैं, सिखा पाते हैं बच्चों को, जो उन्हें वैसे नहीं पता होती. सो इसीलिए मैंने आप सभी से ये रिक्वेस्ट किया कि बिफोर प्रोसीडिंग विथ योर लेसन प्लान्स, फर्स्ट you yourself analyze your syllabus and find out the topics on which you can really would like to take the discussions. You like to move on to that particular topic or scenario where you want to involve all the students. You want to push them, to force them to think out of the box, and how they have to code their things, whatever they are thinking, in front of others, and how they should share their experience or point of views with others. This is how they will improve. Over to everyone. If you have any of the doubts or anything, something you want to ask, please go ahead. Thank you so much.
Madam, thank you very much for your informative lecture. Really, it is
yes,
very
sir.
useful to us. Madam, one doubt I have, say for example,
Yes.
if you told me that the students will be given for sufficient time for their preparations during the group discussion. So during the placement, yes, they will not be given sufficient time now. So very good question. Very good question. And I would love to answer this question, because I know that later my students will not get time to prepare for GD. That is why I, being a teacher, would like to force them, to make them understand all these things since first semester, since first class.
And this how slowly, gradually, what all things will be part of GD. At times they simply ask, what is the impact of social media on young generation? ये भी कई बार placement में topic हो जाता है. तो पता है हम क्योंकि बार-बार we are repetitively doing all these things in the class, student is already prepared, sir. So rather than sitting ideal, वो चुप बैठेगा, वो participate नहीं करेगा, उसके पास बहुत कुछ होगा बोलने के लिए. So that is why I am saying, make this habit that take this group discussion in the class and make them forcefully learn and explore different dimensions. Thank you.
I would like to add,
Yes.
ma'am,
Yes.
I would like to add that asking them to get themselves prepared will finally make them very capable while
Yes. Yes.
for the
Yes.
interviews itself. So it is a long
You have already taken telling them lot of importance, lot of views you are sharing with them. आप उनको सारी चीजें बता रहे हो, आप उनको repetitively polish कर दो ना, तो automatically बच्चा perform करेगा, अच्छे से करेगा.
Yes. So
Thank you
that's
so
a
much.
long span that students will probably get till the interviews. Yes,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
absolutely right, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the appreciation, everyone. I'm just all your comments are giving me a lot of motivation. If any other question is there, please ask me. Any questions? On the
Nice
behalf of
presentation, ma'am. We understood properly.
Thank you so much.
On the behalf of RFI, the session is really very awesome, ma'am, and very fruitful for us and our participants. Thank you so much, and thank you all the sponsors and our dear participants. Have a nice evening. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for the opportunity and all the patient listening. Thank you. You can contact me in the WhatsApp group also if you have any of the query. Thank you so much.
Madam, could you share the PPT?
Can we leave the session?